I forgot to do an intro, so this is the intro. Come and watch Katie do things, because I'm forgetful. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Katie, who's not on time.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Brandon. I absolutely appreciate you. And I'm not paying you for that intro because I'm broke. But I would pay you if I wasn't broke. But anyways, thank you guys. Sometimes, I like to jump on. I get really nervous when I like do podcasts. Like it makes me nervous. I don't know why. But I'm not as bad nervous. See, I can't even talk. But anyways, tonight we got two special guests. They're the owners of let me make hold on. See, I'm so nervous. Omnia Events LLC. We have the founders, and we're going to bring them on. They're going to introduce themselves, and we're going to talk with them on events that they do and all that good stuff. And we'll put like a list of their events. And we are broadcasting uh, on the East Coast with Brandon, and then Midwest, and Kira Coffin, she'll share somewhere on the West Coast, somewhere in Virginia City. So, but let's go ahead and bring on our guests, and so they can introduce themselves.
Hey,
So let's
how are
go.
you?
So, how are you ladies doing tonight?
Very
Great. How
good,
you
thank
doing?
you.
So, April, Miss
Yes.
Mcqueen. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm April Mcqueen, and I own. Bettina and I both own Omnia Events. I also run Omega Paranormal, KC, and right now we're working on a project with Paranormal X, going around town and checking out some locations. It's with Paranormal or Omega Paranormal.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
And then, Gru Scott,
Hey,
say your name. I don't want to butcher it.
Bettina.
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 And so, Bettina, so I know that you and April are owners of
Uh-huh.
Omnia Events. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Bettina. I'm originally from Germany, as you know, and I've been here about 25 years in this beautiful country. And I am an Akashic record reader and teacher if I'm not at work. And so April and I met a few years ago, and we kind of hit it off. We had a good connection, and we just decided, let's do something fun together.
You know, so I want to get into, the specialties of what both of you guys do.
Mm-hmm.
But first, I need to ask, how did you both meet, and what drove you guys to start doing these amazing events? And tell us about the events. So if y'all want to go ahead and
Yeah, April, you want to
start.
Well, we met. What was it? 2 or 3 years ago, with a group that would meet locally, and we would talk about metaphysical events and stuff. And Bettina had the wonderful idea to do a fair. She's like, I really want to do a fair. And I was helping lead the group with another lady, and they brought me in the meetings, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I'll give it a shot. And we tried one out. And in fact, our event in March, which is in 2 weeks at the Masonic Lodge here in Independence,
Yeah, Brandon, can you post that real quick? Yep, Brandon flashed it up there on the screen there for a second.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
This location, it's kind of cool because we're going full circle. This is a year of going back to our roots. And this is the location that we were at our very first show in September of 2021.
And I see that it's at the Masonic Temple.
Yep.
And this will be our third year that you guys have invited KD and Supernatural Inc. So it is an honor. And so every year now we're like, look forward to at least maybe doing one, because I've noticed that your Spirit Con and your events have grown. I mean, they're very popular, especially in Kansas City, in the local area. this will be the third year that we've attended your event. Well, I guess we'll be speaking and we'll have a booth with equipment and all that good stuff. But you guys have some amazing speakers. Uh, I, gosh, there's I can't, anyways, I get messed up, but there's a lot of amazing speakers of all different subjects. It's not just, I mean, you got the UFOs. I mean, you've got like the Akashic readers, records and all that stuff. Also, you had a gentleman who gave his confession, and he was spiritual, and he was cool. I can't remember his name to save my life. Oh, he was in last. I can't remember.
Metaphon?
He wasn't at the expo. He was at the other one.
What do you
What do you talk about?
In
Yeah.
Overland Park. He talked about well, he had written down like in old Hebrew texts, and he would he laid hands on people and prayed with everybody.
It's Robert.
Oh yeah,
Robert.
he's really
Yeah.
good.
Robert.
Yes. He is so good. My spirit
Yeah.
sister Dina was with us, and she's bawling because you write on a piece of paper your prayer and all that, and he reads it, and they pray with you, and she's just a bawling. And I'm not a crier, and I shed maybe just a little tear, and I made sure nobody looked. But you also have some amazing vendors, and hold on, but Bettina.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Bettina. Okay, I don't want to butcher. I'm so nervous.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry. I don't host podcasts.
I've been called all
bear
kinds of
with me.
different variations, so it's all good. It's all good.
Well, I want to get it right, but I
Okay,
want to get
no.
it right. So I remember last year you had spoke about like the cost of even just advertising for these big events for all your vendors and the speakers. And I know for like with us and with your vendors and speakers and stuff, I'm assuming that they're also advertising as well. And you guys just do a phenomenal job. And the first one we went to was 3 years ago in Independence. I think it was at the Hilton.
Yep.
And I don't know, man. There was like I can maybe 5,000, 4,000. I don't know the count, but there was a lot of people there. And we totally were like not prepared because KD had just got back from filming with the Ghost Brothers. So I was trying to get together what I could, and I can't build ghost boxes. I can only do like the ink box S, and I could build like little things, but I mess up stuff too. We have a lot of good ideas, but Katie's, and Brandon helps. He's working on something that he built last year. And the thing is, we have stuff like put up on our shelves, and then we'll bring them down. And we will be debuting a new ITC device in March at your guys's SpiritCon. So
I'm
that's where
excited
people
for
can
that.
see the new. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Katie's been working on it for 4 years, and so we'll go
Wow.
from the beginning to where it has come to now. But enough about us. I want to know more about what's happening with your events and how many are you guys hosting this year? And y'all take it away because I suck.
Go
at
ahead,
this.
Bettina.
So we have the one in March, and then we have one in April in St. Joe, and then we did not officially broadcast it yet, but we will have a Paracon in September, and that one will be a bigger one. But we have not put anything out yet to sign up, but that's coming here real soon. So we're really excited about that. April and I said last year we're not going to do anything big this year. We wanted to rest a little bit, but it's almost impossible. I mean, it's just like people want to sign up, people want to come to Kansas City, and we're like, well, we just have to. So
Yeah,
that's coming up in September.
And one of the things that we're also doing this year is that we haven't done in the past, and we're hoping to It can be more of a community event for the Paracons. We're asking for sponsors. So if you're wanting to sponsor and help, bring in some amazing guests for Paracon, you can go to omniaevents.net/sponsors. And there's information there, or you can message us on Facebook or email us at omniaeventscasey@gmail. Is that right? Okay. .com. And we'd love to work with you.
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember when I first spoke with you, April, I had asked you if we could be a sponsor, and when you answered me back, you're like, "Well, wait a minute, I just realized who you guys were," and I was like, "What do you mean we're Supernatural Inc.?" And you're like, "No, you guys like the bad sign." I forget the whole conversation, but you're like, "Well, do you want to be a speaker?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, I'll pay to be a sponsor. I'd totally support." Obviously, I look people up, and just the way you guys want to bring the community together, and a place for people who have had experiences with cryptid, with I don't like to say aliens. Aliens, I think that is kind of weird because my brother doesn't believe in ghosts, but he believes that the ghosts are the aliens, and he has been, abducted. And I hope not Brandon, my other brother Bradley. I hope he is not watching, because he says if I talk about it, and if he gets, he's going to blame me for that. So. But
if he ever wants to share his story, let me know, and he can come and share it at one of the events.
Yeah,
he won't share it. He won't talk about it. Oh. But I have a story, and it all started when he fell into the Lake Erie in Ohio. It was my fault. He was trying to save the fish. The fish would freeze, and they'd be, about this much underneath the ice, and their mouths would be moving. I'll never forget this. And I'm like, Bradley, please save the fish, please. And he's like trying to break the ice to say, because I was crying, and he doesn't want his little sister to cry, right? I'm a salmon, so he's trying to save these fish. Well, what he didn't realize was the water was a lot deeper than what it looked like, and sure, it only came up to maybe about right here. He didn't drown or anything, but it sure to heck gave my mom a heart attack. And I told my mom, I was like, he saved the fish, and the little fishy swam off. It was really awesome. But after that, that's when he had experiencing things that we won't discuss on this podcast, because this podcast is about you guys. So
we love stories too.
Yeah, I do too. Really, I like those stories.
Benita, tell our viewers, if they don't know. I know a little bit about the Akasha records.
Okay.
Obviously, as a researcher, I'm a historian, and there are things that that I read about, and I may not understand. I may not do the the whole process of Akashic reading and all that. And I know about palmistry, divination.
Yeah.
Don't ask me crap about astrology, because and I'll tell you, I'm like, you a who? Yeah, I'm sorry, that's not my realm. I don't know anything about the moon cycles. That would be like a psychic Brandy Marie thing, because she goes on the Hebrew calendar. Anyways. So, but the Ashaka records, that's like, I know a little bit about it, but explain to our viewers, a little, if you could sum it up.
Yeah. Well, I'm also a teacher, so I have to be able to sum it up for potential students. But yeah, the Akashic records are really the records, the journey of your soul. So if you believe in multiple lives, or even if you don't believe it, I mean, it wouldn't make it untrue. But from the inception of your soul up until this very moment, everything your soul has ever experienced, past lives, current life situations, and even possible future lifetimes, it's all stored in what we call the Akashic records. And the Akashic record is like an energy field that is around planet Earth. Okay. And we also believe that every planet out there in the solar system or any other system, they each have their own Akashic records. And so it's like your whole existence is like a library, and then each life you had is a book. So that's the easiest way to explain it. And so when I tap into somebody's records, I really tap into the journey of their soul, and then I answer questions that they have about whatever, past, present, future.
Yeah. So even like your house and your dog has a
Yep.
record.
Everything that's in existence. I mean, if you believe that everything is energy, then whatever has energy has an Akashic record. So yes, you're right.
Absolutely. There, I won't go through this whole study that they did. I think they did it at Berkeley. I'm not quite sure. I have to look up where they did this study. But these scientists did a study on 2 plants, and they put one plant in a positive environment, one plant in a negative environment. Needless to say, when they swapped the plants, the one from the negative and put into the positive to the negative, the one that was in the positive environment went to the negative environment, died. And then the one from the negative environment thrived in the positive environment, even though it pretty much grew up in a negative environment, but the positive plant didn't know how to. So, but basically it was about our frequency and our vibration, and how all of that is written out into like the cosmic, into out into heaven above, and into another realm that third dimension, maybe.
Yes. It's all there. It's all there to tap into.
Yes, fascinating, very interesting, and
It
I
is.
know just a little bit about it because I need to, because maybe I need to direct somebody who might have a question for me about, well, maybe you might want to check into the Akasha records. So that's and that's like a hall of
It's a hall of records. Yes.
library.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now, April, now I know that you're a paranormal researcher. So are you more into like what is your main research, or do you have a main type of research?
Well, I like to go into places because there are so many theories about the afterlife, and I want to come up with my own, and then possibly have physical proof to show somebody that's like, well, I'm kind of confused about this. I'm like, well, this happened, so I'm not sure what's really going on, but there are things afterwards. I mean, it's not like you die and that's the end, because I mean, I don't know, about, I don't want to, preach or whatever, but like knowing that there's more beyond death gives a lot of people hope, because if it's like death and that's it, I mean, it's awesome, but it's just one of those things that for me, it gave me a lot of like, I don't know, joy in knowing that like my dad passes away, and then knowing that he's still here with us, because, I have a lot of psychic friends and they've seen him here, and I've experienced things with him here, and just knowing that he's still here with us, it makes you feel good. And so whenever we do the paranormal research, getting the physical stuff to go along with what we know in our hearts is just amazing.
Right. And see, and that's what's so awesome about, I said this the other day when I was on a podcast, this community, there's a lot entails into the unknown, but we as people we only have each other because we have so many people who are, I hate to say it's so negatively, that are against us, who mock us, who tried, like, I can't tell you how many churches I've been kicked out of. I'm serious. I'll go into church and they're like, so what do you do? And I'm like, well, I'm a historian. And then, I might not show up that one weekend. And they're like, well, where were you for that weekend? But I'm an adult. And a lot of times I'm like, I don't have to tell you where I've been, but I'm going to be nice today and tell you that, I was researching for like weird phenomenons like ghosts, and then that's it, I'm out. They're like, and I think it's like, I'm summoning spirits. It's not that way at all. But then you also have a scientist. Y'all can go on YouTube's, I'm not going to give you the guy's name because I don't want to get sued by this guy, but he's been posted for the past 10 to 12 years attacking especially psychic mediums, and then also attacking tarot card readers, attacking, astrologers. And he talks about how, the paranormal community and people who believe in, the UFOs and this, that, and the other, how that they don't even use equipment, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, and this is, at like maybe about 3 years ago. And I'm like, what is this guy like talking about? Of course we use equipment. It's called ITC. And he should know that because the individuals, instrumental transcommunication, those are scientists and they're all over the world. But the science community don't look at them as they kind of look down at them, and they don't have any credit, but they have a lot of awesome evidence that nobody can explain, that even the most smartest philosopher can't even explain.
One of the things that really strikes me whenever, like the paranormal investigator, and I don't know if you've came across this or not, but there's a lot of them that are out there and everything is dark, everything's demonic, everything's this, everything's that, when it's not. I mean, you can go into a house and you can explain so many things away and give this person a little bit of her life back. Because like we went to this one lady's house and she was told, your house is dark and your daughter's, going through some evil stuff and all this, and so she was like, what do I do? And so we went in and we explained, okay, this is a fear cage. This is why this is happening. If you move these items around, you can, probably get some peace through there. She went through and did that and everything resolved itself. But it's just, there's a lot of dark, demonic, everything is dark and demonic investigators when it's not. It can be explained away. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't. There are some places that are, but every place is not dark and demonic.
Well, and that comes with experience.
Yeah.
And I know I've been researching since 2006. And when I say I've seen it all, but, and you're exactly right. I'm glad that you said, just moving certain things around because, I had an older friend of mine, I sit, I'm president of Smithville, Missouri Historical Society. I sit on several different boards, do historic stuff, boring stuff to most people, but whatever. He kept seeing his wife in the house and when she passed away. And I'm like, that's normal because she was probably a creature of habit. She was in her late 80s. Every morning she'd attend to her plants in the kitchen. And she just had a routine every morning. So I had asked him to move the plant somewhere else and had him replace it with rose quartz, put a rose quartz stone there by the sink, and just kind of move things around a little bit. And, it started feeling a little bit better because going back to the Akashic records, I believe that, it's not just our memory. It kind of is our memory, but where does our frequency and vibration go? Because going back to the two plants, one was being yelled at all the time in a negative environment. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
So where does that energy go? Does it goes out, and that's where the Akashic records, I believe, intertwines with that theory. And I have to call it a theory, but there's a lot of evidence there that can be explained. I'm just saying it can be explained.
Well, energy can neither be created nor destroyed, so that energy has to go somewhere. So if you're putting out negative energy, it has to go somewhere.
Bro, you just blew my mind. Oh my God, you gave me a chill. Because, and see, that's the thing is that, I was talking about negativity last week when I was on another podcast, and negativity spreads very quickly, and it influences people very quickly these days. But I've noticed if it just takes one person to say something and do something positive, poof, it goes away that fast. But boy, does it spread quickly. It is so crazy.
It really is. Like, why does negativity go so fast? And positivity, it almost has to like force its way through to make an impact.
And it only takes one person to be positive, and that darkness, that it's that but there's a lot to entail in there, like your vibration, your tone, and your frequency when you are trying to be positive. And the more that you're able to in tune yourself within your soul, where you're in a spirit like state, 'cause I walk in the spirit, and that will definitely, it's like a tsunami. It'll just reverberate all that negativity away, because I don't want it in my environment. I don't want to be
Yeah.
around it.
Mhm.
And at your guys' events, everybody's so happy, everybody's smiling, everybody talks to each other. It feels so comfortable. And the patrons that come in, a lot I know sometimes you won't see us at our table, and I kind of explain to you why. It's because somebody will come up and they'll want to talk to me in private, and I'm like, are you sure you want to talk to me? I'll do my best to answer your questions if I can. And I forget where I was going with that. Oh well.
Well, one of the things that we do at the front, one of the things that we do at the ticket booth, whenever guests come in and they have questions about, well, who should I go talk to? We'll say, walk around the room one full time. Don't talk to anybody. Just walk around, feel or get a feel for who you are drawn to, and then talk to that person. So, I mean, because we want them to go in and follow their own intuition of who the spirit wants them to connect with, not who we tell them to connect with.
I didn't know y'all did that. That is, see, that's why your events are good, because you are involved. You're because, I know where I was going with it. It just came back to me. I think Benita is helping me. I can tell she's got.
I'm sending you good vibes.
Yeah, you got good energy. Both of you do. But damn it, I lost it again.
That's okay. That's okay.
Damn it.
It'll come back.
It'll come back. But Benita, help me here. No, I'm kidding.
I'm sending you good juju. But one thing I want to add to when you guys said something about, how people will drag things into being negative, or, when you said you went into churches and they no longer want anything to do with you. Yeah. So when I teach a class about the Akashic Records, I always dive into that topic as well, because what we know from the earliest writings about the Akashic Records, I mean, the earliest writings on paper or on something was found 4,500 years ago about the Akashic Records. So we know that they always existed, right? But what I want to say is that we know they existed. However, it's just now becoming more mainstream. And the reason for that is, and I know I'm rubbing people wrong with that by saying that, but for so long, knowledge was kept away from the common people, because knowledge is power. And as long as you keep things away from them, you can scare them into coming your place only, right? And I'm not talking about all the churches, and I'm not talking about all the mystics or leaders, okay? But I would say most of them. And we all know we went through dark times, right? When the church had all the power. And as long as they can keep things and knowledge away from you, they can control you. And that's really what that was. And I always teach people about the way, or the reason why it's now coming back more mainstream, is because, first of all, we have those pioneers that venture out into those, like you guys, right? You go out and you prove things. And then we also, with the Akashic Records, we had Edgar Cayce, who was called the sleeping prophet, right? And so there's always somebody who has to go out and take the beating, but they bring things back, and now is the time for all those things to come back. And it's like those people online, or whoever they are, it's all fruitless attempts to keep the truth from everybody else. But I know they will not succeed, because it's really the truth, and we're just bringing it back out now.
Didn't Edgar say something about like it's a remembrance of God or something? I could be mistaken. Like what something that I had read
about Edgar Cayce.
Yeah, I think he had said something about it's kind of like the book of God's remembrance of some sort. I can't remember exactly.
That I don't know, but yeah, he was the sleeping prophet. So he tapped into the records. I don't think he ever mentioned the Akashic Records, but we do know now that that's what he was tapping into.
Yeah,
and,
that's cool.
So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So are you going to be doing like classes and talks at your events that you guys are doing?
I haven't planned on it yet because we're pretty busy,
Yeah,
running
I
the
know you guys
event.
are. Yeah, I know you guys are
Yeah.
very, very busy. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we have somebody named Wendy. Wendy is my student. She does Akashic record readings, so I highly recommend her. She'll
Mhm.
be there doing readings, and we have other good readers and speakers. I mean, not talk.
And you guys will have like Reiki individual, like
Hmm.
Yep.
Reiki, like
Energy workers.
practitioners,
Yeah.
all like people can actually you know use buy their services or whatever. I
Oh,
hate
yeah.
to say it like that, but
Yeah.
Book sessions. They can book sessions.
book sessions. And so what types is there, like the tarot card, or so I know some people don't use tarot cards. I use like I'm not a psychic medium, I'll say that, but I know everything there is about divination. That's more and
Mhm.
environmental factors. But I'm a behavior analyst. That's what I do. I've studied sociology for a very long time, and cultural science. But anyways, uh, so I know you guys will have an array, like with the
Mhm.
crystals
Mhm.
and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And there was a lady there. Gosh, I have her business card, but she had his awesome plants.
She's going to be there.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Because we're so busy. We are so busy. I had to have one of her plants because I make, succulents, and I call them healing gardens, and I put crystals
Oh,
in
yeah.
them, and then I put like a prayer in the bottom of it, like a special prayer in the bottom of it, and I have different ones that I make. I don't bring them to the any of the events that I go to. I actually did a big one for a dental office. This thing was massive. Like they wanted a
Wow.
really big one. So I have to show you guys the pictures of it. But
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
But-
very much into plants. I actually have my peppers back here growing under grow lights, and so I understand the plant love
Yeah.
of plants.
Well, they have good
Yeah,
energy. They clean the air and they clean the energy. And it's like, I mean, when you go to somebody's house and they have a lot of plants, you feel different. There's a different vibe going on,
Well, and
And-
growing them for me,
yeah.
like watching the beginning and end of life, it's a full cycle. And so, like, as I love watching a seed first come up out of I'm a nerd, so I love watching the seed and the plant come out of dirt, because it's like it's all new, it's all fresh, and then you just watch it grow up, and it's just beautiful to me.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. And we got some people in the comments here. Let me see who's all on here. So we have Tim Lovejoy. Tim, I hope you got your package. We have Tracy Rizzo. Tracy, I love you. Thank you for coming on. Becky Evans, I love you, girl. I'm praying for you. We have Irene. How are you doing? It's nice to see you joining in. Carmen Burns, that's my girl. What's up, Carmen? Jim Diddy, how are you doing, Jim? We've got
Oh, hey,
Kel.
Jim.
We have Kel Rentgen, and then we have, I don't have my glasses on, sorry. We have a special power. Show that flyer again, please. I think they're probably talking about the advertising flyers, but you can also go to omnievents.net, and also on Facebook as well. Is it at Omni Events on Facebook? Is that how they
Omni Events LLC.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Russell Reynolds, how are you doing, Russell? He is on Supernatural Inc. Network. Tim Lovejoy says, it's ironic that we were left with the Holy Ghost, yet the church turns its cheek upon speaking about them. It's even written in scripture that both good and evil spirits exist. That's correct. And now I am a member of a church. I have found a church. So, but I just wasn't trying to be negative about the whole
No.
church thing. I was trying to find more of a local church. And there is a local church that find everything that I do very fascinating. But I am a member of a church. I had to go back to the Bible Belt because I'm originally from South Carolina. So I went back to my old church, and they obviously take me with open arms because they've, known me since I was like 15. Also, Greg Koss, he's also part of Supernatural Inc. Network. He says, hello, Katy, Benita, Betita, shit, sorry, and April,
Bettina.
Bettina, and love and hugs.
Hello.
Kim, I love Kim. She is awesome. She's my girl. She helps me out a lot. She says, hello, everyone. Greg Goss said, get the butterfly net. I don't know what he was referencing to. I have to go back and look. Well, hold on. Now, Tim Lovejoy. Now, Mr. Tim knows his scripture. Let me tell you, when I watch his, he owns several of our spirit boxes, and let me tell you, his research is amazing. And so he says, we were told long ago that we are currently seeing today in Luke chapter 8, verse 17, everything that is hidden will become clear and every secret thing will be made known. Absolutely.
Amen.
Absolutely.
I have to share how we got started, or actually how I got started with this, because it wraps into what you're talking about right now. Is I homeschool my daughter, and a lot of the homeschool community is very strong in the Christian religion. And so we were part of a co-op, and we had just started doing our paranormal investigations, and they had booked a field trip to go to a cemetery for historical reasons. And so my daughter, being the 8-year-old self that she is, raises her hand and says, can I take a K2? And they're like, well, what's a K2? She goes, well, we go ghost hunting. And you could just see like everybody's face drop. And so they contact us later that day, and they're like, you guys can't talk about that stuff and everything. And basically it was trying to shame us for what we were doing. And so I had to drop out of that, and we basically lost our entire friend circle, like starting fresh. It was a very tough time period, but it brought me into the group that Bettina and I met, and it's grown into this. So sometimes you get knocked down to the bottom, and then it's like, okay, it's for a good reason, and it you'll see later on what's happening. But yeah, the church wasn't very kind to us at that time.
Right. And let me tell you, the whole aspect of the church, I don't believe Christianity is a religion at all. I think religion and Christianity are two separate things. But there's a wave coming. My preacher talks about how don't condemn people, that we should be lifting people up. It's like, hey, you made a mistake, okay, let's lift you up, let's pray. Yeah, we ain't gonna get into all that, but it's coming, because we're not in the Old Testament anymore. But the Old Testament does need to be referenced, because there's a lot of supernatural things that happen in the Old Testament, a lot of things we can learn there. But also, there was nobody in this world that could follow the law of religion. Okay. And except for Jesus, he was the only one. So the rules had to go. And that's, when the Holy Spirit, yada, yada, yada. I guess we all are pretty much understand that. But, there was something I else wanted to ask you guys about the events. Hey, so will you be able to maybe let us know what location y'all might be doing in September, or is it a secret?
Oh, it's the Hilton in Independence. Yeah. That first one you guys went to?
Oh, yeah, I love that place.
Yeah, it was a really good location.
Yeah, I love that place, and I always want to shop, and because there's so many awesome people. I love affirmation cards, and you had a vendor there that had a deck of affirmation cards that I have, and I spent like $30 on them. And she was selling them for $12.
Oh,
wow!
But I will tell you, I bought.
That may have been my table.
No,
because my daughter runs the table, and all of our stuff was under like $12. It was like I marked things for $12 or $13 max, and everything was under that.
Well, I ended up buying another deck of affirmation cards, or were they angel cards? I can't remember, but I ended up, because when I don't do readings, for people. I use divination in different ways. And that's the cool thing about the paranormal, is that there is no wrong or right way to do things. Well, it's like whatever works for you. And I know, like, for me, I'll bring out cards, whether they be past life cards or what have you. And I absolutely have to, like, shut down my thoughts and everything. I can't think about anything if I'm interrupted while I'm doing the cards. I have to start all over again. I've trained myself. It's taken a very long time. So I'll, do the cards, and I'm not thinking about nothing. Nothing. I just am nothing. And I have found it was just an experiment I was trying. And actually, you know, with with my historical background, I found that the cards were coinciding with some of the history. It's very interesting. So April 27th, that's going to be, I love St. Joseph. There's a lot. Oh my gosh, there's so much history in St.
Yes,
Joseph.
there is.
Yeah. Joseph Whitecloud. Oh my gosh. Oh, his dad, gangster. Yeah. Yeah. That I know so much about. That was like when we first moved here to Missouri. Woo-hoo. That was our place, Ribbity Row.
Yeah.
The balcony. We raised enough money to finally get their balcony repaired there. But my Dina, my spirit, I call her my spirit sister. So I made a spirit friend, and she goes, Katy, because he was trying to leave, and she goes, you're not supposed to make friends with these spirits because you're holding them here. And I'm like, no, he can leave whenever he wants to leave. And I was like, it's a long story, but yeah, he was my spirit friend, and that was like a big no. And people have told me that, even my mentor, because you can potentially hold them back here. But I was like, you're free to go. And I prayed, and he liked horses. Like, I would see visions of horses. So I put a horse figurine, like a garden horse figurine, out in the gardens there at Ribbity Row. And it's still there.
Huh.
But he would
I
come
was actually raised in St. Joe.
Well, he would come in a form of a bird, and he loved the shit. Sorry, I'm working on my language, guys. Mrs. Katy is working on her language. But that bird would poo-poo in front of this one door, right? And so the director every morning, I mean, it's a lot. Like, it would be a lot. And it was just a little, like maybe a finch, maybe. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but I mean, it's a lot of poop for one little bird. So we put a camera out there, and it was one bird. And I didn't see a whole bunch of poop coming out of him. I don't know where it came from, but she had updated me several years ago and said, there's no more poop. Did the bird pass away? And I said, no, you probably see him in the trees out there. And sure enough, there's another bird out there in the trees, just slightly different color. It's St. Joe is
Wow.
very, very
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love St.
It has a
Joe.
lot of activity up there too, a lot of haunted locations.
I wonder why that is, though. Do you know?
Well, it was the start of the Pony Express. Wasn't it like the route started there or something?
Well, okay, yeah, the fur trade. So basically, Joseph Robidoux, he was in fur trading, and Ribbity Row was the first, I guess you would say, apartment complex where people it used to be called Old Snake Hill. And there's a lot of caves in St. Joseph. Okay. You have the Ribbity Cave. You got Felix's cave. You got Felix's grave, and I figured out who Felix was, but anyways, I don't know where his grave is. It's just the old, fairy, not a fairy tale. It's a wise, I don't know. It's a story that the locals have. But Felix was actually a person. I actually found a lot of evidence on this person, but people are trying to find his grave. and nobody knows where it is. But it was all native territory. And if you go into Ruby Road Museum, they actually have, the top hats, and they're made out of beaver hide or whatever. And it was, Joseph Whitecloud married Joseph Ribadew's daughter.
Oh, okay.
And it was all native territory. Also at the Tootle Mansion, they had found natives, and there's actually a memorial plaque there where natives were buried there on the property where Tootle Mansion is. So
Oh, that's interesting.
there's there's a lot of history, not just going back 300 years, because you have the
Yeah.
old 1823 trail that went directly to St. Joseph, and that was made by the Native Americans. And how you can tell is the natives would take trees and they would bend them, and they would grow into two trees. So you could look through the trees. It was for navigational purposes. Okay. And so the only reason why I know this is because I did a lot of extensive research on the 1823 trail, because it was part of the Jefferson Highway, but that's something else that we could discuss later. But St. Joseph definitely is a place that, I wish they would put out more plaques. Like, I go to different, like Caldwell, Kansas, Dodge City, lots of different other places, and they have like these plaques that explain what was here. And the railroad was very, very important. And you know what? There's a lot of prostitution. A lot. That's where people went to go party. Okay, so
Really? Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the McIntyre Villa, Mr. McIntyre. Oh, he's involved there, but not with prostitutes. He did a lot of business there. Mr. Patterson, who has the Patterson house, he had the Patterson Mill. Yeah, I found some stuff on him. Yeah. There a lot of early. Yeah, I'm serious. Like, that's where everybody went to do like their stuff. Yeah.
I like how you say
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, like, to have a good time, I guess,
Yeah.
down in the tunnels. There are tunnels there, and people be like, no, there ain't no tunnels here. It's just, it's worse. Well, not worse, but it's similar to the Leavenworth tunnels. Very similar. Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it like is it the Beatty Mansion?
I think it's the Beatty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting how that house stoops up on a hill. That's all I'm going to say about that, because there might be researchers watching, and I just want to know if others have some evidence on this whole location of. Anyways, they'll know what I'm talking about. So
You might have to message
have
me
you guys
later, 'cause I've been
investigated?
there. I have, yeah. The Beatty Mansion.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I went with Carmen Burns, and I've been there 4 or 5 times. I was out there with Apex one time. They invited us out there long time ago, but I didn't have enough time to investigate the whole building. And it was the first time a spirit came through that said he was reincarnated, and he had been there. Been there before. And it was just the most bizarre account that I have ever come across. And I
That's
write
cool.
down everything down. I have a record of everything. I have evidence of all this. It's just so weird how this spirit told me that they were reincarnated and they returned there in the 90s. It's crazy. It's freaking crazy.
See, that's one of the questions that I have as an investigator is, why are most spirits you come across like only maybe from the 1800s
They're not.
until now? At least the
They're
ones
not.
that in this area that I've came across have like all been like 1800s and to modern
Oh
day.
no. Oh no, there's a lot from the 90s, early 2000s. I get all, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
There's
no, I meant 1800s, like the year 1800s up till now.
Oh, well, there are a lot in 1800s, and that could be because there's lack of Bibles there. Yeah, the Rosicrucians were there, and they didn't have too many Bibles for people to. Brandon, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I'm ready for a 1990s ghost that loved grunge music.
Right?
We actually
Right?
have a groupie ghost from the 80s, and he'll come across on our spirit box and say, dude, and his name's Steve. And it's so funny. He sounds like a surfer guy every single time.
Like I'm waiting on the ghost through the spirit box going, I'm smelling like a rose somebody gave me
on my birthday.
See, I'm ready. I'm ready for that. Anyway,
I love Stone Temple Pilots.
That's funny.
Yeah. I used to make a joke about it. I love Jim Morrison from The Doors, right? And I always make a joke because I've been touched a handful of times. I'm like, don't touch me. Are you Jim Morrison? Because I am a serious investigator, but at the same time, you want to raise up, just happiness, a good vibration.
Well, you want to connect with them too. Like you want to have conversations like you would an everyday person, or else they're not really going to connect with you.
I've had some people actually on the events that I just did because I use humor.
Yeah.
When I investigate.
Yeah.
And they were just looking at me like I was the most unprofessional person in the world. And then I said, wait.
Yeah.
And then all the equipment started going off.
Yeah.
I said, now who's unprofessional? Use humor, man. I mean, I like to laugh while I'm living. When I pass, I'm still going to want to laugh.
Yeah.
So it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the things we tell people whenever we take them on a public investigation is that you are entering their house. And so you have to respect them like they are. You're walking into somebody's house. They are just people just like us. They're just not alive. That's the only difference.
Well, my biggest goal in the afterlife is I want to bitch slap somebody. So I'm waiting on that first person to come in to investigate and be a dick. Because I want to be the very first. I just got bitch slapped by a ghost.
That's awesome.
So you can use the Akashic records, intertwine that into your research because, man, there's so much possibilities there.
Yeah, it's unending. It's open ended. I mean, and it's really hard for a human mind to comprehend all that stuff that's out there. It's just, I think we're just like scratching the surface and having fractions of, what's out there. So, yeah.
Yeah, that I think that would be something interesting for somebody to do along the lines with the Akashic records in their paranormal research.
Mm-hmm.
But I would advise for people to actually dive deep into it, get with somebody who's a teacher, like Bettina. Always correct me, please do, because I can't tell you how many houses I had to go to because people were doing Reiki in their home, and I've had to fix some things, and sometimes I won't fix them. Like, you're going to have to do that yourself. Like, fix that. You shouldn't be doing that Reiki on your bar like that. Yeah.
You have to be experienced, whatever you do. I mean, I personally don't believe, I mean, I know there's evil or stuff out there, but really, if you ground yourself, you protect yourself, if you know what you're doing, you shouldn't be able to, or you shouldn't be able to conjure up something by accident, if that's what makes sense. So.
But if you know just enough to get yourself hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew somebody who was
fine.
I knew somebody who was trying to summon the goddess into her, and it was like, what kind of goddess are we talking here? Like,
yeah.
And I'm just like, why? Like, she would be a good one to go to check into the Akashic records because maybe she was trying to seek something. Oh, but yeah, no, she had summoned something else. It was because of her intentions, because she was getting very angry because she was like, "It's not working," and she, I don't know, it's just weird to me. And a lot of people. Oh, that's what it was earlier about the lady. Everybody always says, "Now I'm not crazy." That's what it was. That's why I kept forgetting to say earlier during our conversation. Y'all got to remember, people aren't too smart sometimes.
That's
Well,
true.
well, I think sometimes people are selfish and they don't like the way things are going in their life. So instead of trying, I don't know, I can't judge somebody's circumstance. You just we're an adult and you have to it's about experience. And if you can't experience the pain and the struggles of things, how are you going to be able to problem solve for the next bump in the road?
Yep.
I mean, just not trying to summons a goddess. Damn it. I wouldn't
I'm
summons
sorry,
a goddess.
Kim. You're killing me. You're killing me with your autocorrect, Kim. You're killing me. Check out the comment.
Let's see.
But I also believe people want to feel powerful. They know a little bit
Oh.
something. They know a little bit something about something, and then they want to be all powerful, and they have like no clue what they're doing. I really think you have to be experienced. You have to do your research. Instead of saying, "Hey, oh, there's this witchcraft stuff. I'm gonna conjure up all kinds of stuff." It's you. Your ego sometimes, is way ahead of you, and that's something that you really have to reel in.
And you
And
have to
that's
take it slow. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not going to be an overnight thing. You have to go slow and really understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
and that's what's important for you guys to keep doing these events because of this, to educate people, because
Mhm.
that is what you guys are doing. And anybody who's watching, anybody that sees your guys' events pop up, if you're from Arkansas, Iowa, heck, if you're on the East Coast, come, because it's very informative. Everybody, and we're very serious people.
Yes.
And you have a wide variety of people who can help you understand what you're going through. It could be something, maybe you're stressed out. It could be, yeah, you actually are experiencing something. So that what you guys are doing can help direct people in a way where they need to be directed, instead of, trying to get around things.
Yeah.
You said
Thank
it
you.
just perfectly, about, people need to be informed, and
Yeah.
the events you guys do and the people you have there, it's right there.
Right.
Yeah.
How much does it cost to get in, for like a patron to get in?
It's $7, but we also have coupons
What?
online for, what's the online coupon you have at Bettina?
Online is $2 off, and we have at the metaphysical shops, we have coupons for buy one, get one free.
What?
Yep.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's all this knowledge you can have for like $5 to
Yeah.
$7 a day.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's on Saturday, and because I know the past 2 years it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you guys are just doing it Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So for $5 or $7, and then rent a hotel room or a B&B, a historic B&B.
Mhm.
What's wrong, Brandon? Are you gonna
I
throw
have
up?
to. I know I have to.
Do it.
For just $5 a day. You too can teach an idiot how to better themselves.
Well, hey, he said it. He said it, not
I'm
any
glad
of
you
us.
said it.
Can we hire you for marketing?
Yeah.
Of course.
So Brandon was live broadcasting, from the expo when
Oh,
I don't know if he went
Okay.
to
Yeah.
no, he
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, he was podcasting.
Yeah, I interviewed John Zaffis and some of the
Oh.
vendors, and Carter Burchard I interviewed. So
Yeah.
I'll probably be doing that again this year.
Yeah,
So,
and I was
Do it
handing
at the
out.
big one in September.
yeah.
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Well, don't forget about us. I know there's a lot of people on the wait list.
I already told you can
We
have a
would
spot.
never forget about it.
Yeah, because Brandon will come and I've been trying to tell Brandon he needs to do his shamanic. How is that a word?
It is now.
Shamanic.
That's right, brother.
Yeah,
Like-
anytime you want to have a talk too, Brandon, let us know. You can have a talk and teach some people some stuff.
For
Well,
$5 a day.
For $5 a day, I will
Right.
teach you people. I will teach these people.
Exactly.
Yeah, because none of your speakers or anybody gets paid. We do it to inform people because
Mhm.
it's important. We want people to be guided in what we've experienced and what we know in the most positive way. And Brandon, let me tell you, because KD and Brandon were up all night building equipment. So Brandon
Oh,
kind of
tired.
drug himself in on Sunday, and I wanted to see John Zaffis. He's like my idol, right? And so I turn around because I was like, I'm gonna go watch John. I turn around, Brandon done gone. And he was yeah. I was in
Well,
the
here,
front.
interview him.
Are you serious?
John
But
is
way
like the
too-
most amazing guy. He is hysterical. Like when I see him on TV, I never thought he would have the sense of humor he has in person, and he is just downright funny.
And it's so weird, I was called to 2 of his locations, the one in Joplin that he went to, and then also the kids. I call it the YMCA, but it's not a YMCA. It's like a kids place with the boxers. I was called out there for that, and it. I was honored because I know John Zappis was there. I know we're about to have to end because I know your show.
I'm not doing a show tonight. Go ahead.
You're not doing Shaman Sunday. Why not?
Nope.
Why
My
work-
guest, no show, no contact, no nothing. So
Oh.
I'm gonna take this time to relax for a day.
Well, good. You need it because you bust your butt for the network.
Or we can just continue with this podcast for a little bit longer. However y'all want to do.
Well, we'll continue for about 10 more minutes because I do got to make. Now, I did fix Logan dinner and have to go down there and make sure he ate all of his food. And that's another reason why I was running a little late. And I told my daughter, I was like, can you please get him the carrots and the ranch, please, to go along with the hot dog so you have something healthy? Oh, there's Kier Coffin. So Kier Coffin, we're doing a fundraiser for Kier Coffin where you can bid on items. And I'm donating. We do little fundraisers, for people. Like she needs funds to go see her father. He doesn't have much longer.
Kira, send me a private message after this. My wife and I were talking. We need to know how much you need.
And if you got something you can donate for the auction too, that would be good as well. But anyways, I'll be donating something.
Okay, what's up, buddy?
And we have something awesome that we're donating to you guys this year. And April, you guys have the first microcom, and it was because he made 2 for Ghost of Devil's Perch, and the second
nice.
one he gave to you guys when we were there. So you have the second microcom that came from Ghost of Devil's Perch.
Oh, awesome! Thank you.
And it was made on he made it there in Butte, Montana. Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, because we couldn't say anything at the time because the show hadn't even aired yet. So that's why we'd ever
cool.
said anything. Yeah.
That's
So-
very cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So and I think last year I gave you a static node. The
Mhm.
static node
Yep.
it works off of, so it stays lit up for a positive charge, positive static charge. But that's right, Brandon. And when a negative charge comes into contact with it, the neurons of that negative charge comes into contact with that positive charge, it'll make that positive static charge either dim, flicker, or completely go out.
And
plus
now
Okay.
my job, I break it down. Stow, no ghost, light. Ghost, no light.
there you go.
Okay. Cool.
But- Now that is if it has static energy or this depends on
Theoretically.
theoretically, yes.
Yeah,
But
all of this is theoretically.
Right.
I have orders for them. I have 2 orders for them, and so I'm like trying that 3D printing them to 3D print 4 of them, ABS material. I mean, it takes well over 24 hours. It's a long time. So the printer's just running and running and running and running. And I make them all, myself, and I have to do the sensors and this, that. Yeah,
Oh,
everything's
that's
custom.
cool.
Yeah, so I'll have a big batch of those. The printer's down there running right now. I'm hoping to get at least 20 of them.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I have a total of 30, but I have to keep 10 out because they take so long to build.
I know there's a lot of excitement on the event page for the equipment.
Yeah, so we have a lot of, we have boxes built. We have the no name box. We have one of those. We might have two. I don't know, because I kind of hid the other one because I like to keep them. I'm selfish.
She does. Do you know how many items of Supernatural ink that I have? One.
Oh.
Hey, no, but he gives it away though.
I can't help it.
We give him experimental stuff, and then he can't help it. He goes on investigation. They're like, "That's cool, man," and he's like, "Yeah, it's experimental." And they're like, "Oh, can I like test it?" And he goes, "Here, fuck it, man. Sorry for my language.
I don't care. You
just
own
test
the network."
Yeah, exactly.
I know, but I'm working on my language. That's something I'm trying to work on. I'm around.
Yeah,
Logan.
I'm bad about if somebody likes something that I have.
Yeah.
I give it away. I can't. I don't know. It's just something about me. Like with that experimental box that I'm going to get back in March.
Oh,
when I come
okay.
up there.
Sweet.
She was like, "Hey, this is pretty cool. Can I use it to investigate?" Oh, of course you can. Knowing I live 14 and a half hours away. I can't help it.
She's using it.
Yeah, and she's getting some pretty good data.
Oh,
So-
awesome.
Well, she could hook up an effects pedal to it. What's this? That goes back to the topic of, what's that say? Correlates.
And correlates with positive and negative energy.
Yes.
We can't see, but in a static node. Yes, Tim.
That's correct. That's correct.
Tim's got the cool.
Point.
He's got the reverse ink box.
Yes. So he has the first original reverse ink box. Now, Detroit Paranormal Expedition, they have a reverse speech, but it's on a Legba box, and that's a boutique box that was custom made for them. He doesn't use it, so I've been trying to get that box back from him.
What's it do?
Oh, it does everything. Everything.
Yeah.
It does Pig Latin. It
does literally everything.
Everything. You can cut the static out, or you can just use static. You do theta waves. You can do all kinds of stuff on that thing. Yeah. And he got a really good deal. I would have sold it for $3,000, but Katie only sold it for $800, which he got a killer deal on it. But this was back when he first started making them. And I'm thinking I need some more ghoststop.com ghost hunting equipment. Why not?
I mean, do what you want.
Why not? They got some good IR lights. Them bitches are expensive.
That's what I'm saying. They're way too pricey. I can show you how to get IR lights for cheaper.
Well, Brandon, you can build those.
I can. I've got a bunch of IR stuff sitting by my soldering iron. That's not my calling.
But they have the Boo Buddy. Boo Buddy.
We can make a Boo Buddy.
Yeah, those are pretty easy to make. Not, what is it now? 100. Last time I looked, it was like almost $100.
Yeah. Well, we made. You know what we made for Jack Osborne was a Robert the Doll that was like the Boo Buddy, and he loved that thing. Yes, he loved Robert the Doll. Yes. So they send us a Robert the Doll, and he's like this big. And so then we mail it to him, right? And they're like, "What the hell is this?"
You're good, Kim. You're good.
Jack was like, "What the hell is this?" And we're like, "Well, that's the one that you sent us." He goes, "But he was supposed to be bigger than that." And Katie goes, "Well, I guess you got ripped off." And so he sends it back, and he tells us to keep it to make him another one. So he was trying to find a bigger one. And so he hasn't sent us the bigger one yet. He probably got someone else to do it. But no, seriously, can't find. He wants he would have to get a custom one made because they don't have a big one. Like the size of like the one that's who owns Robert the Doll now?
That would
It's not
be
it's not it's not Zach Bagans, right?
I
no.
don't
It's
think
still the
so.
museum down there. Zach Bagans here. I'll tell you about Zach Bagans. None of his stuff in that museum is his. None of it. It's all on loan, even though he says
Oh,
he
okay.
bought it all. None of it is his, and he
And
stole
some
it.
of it's not even on loan.
Right, and he stole the whole idea from the Warrens.
Well, you know what? He has that painting of the
Nah.
boy. He has a painting of the boy. I bid on that thing on eBay like 10 years ago, dude. And when I saw that he had it in his museum, I need to go to the museum to see that painting because I wanted that painting. I have to have it. Well,
There's
I ain't
5 of them. You can find one. There's 5.
I
5
want
originals.
one. I gotta have one, man. I don't know what it is for that painting. I saw it on eBay. It didn't say anything about it being haunted. I legitimately wanted it because I liked it. It spoke to me.
Probably really spoke to you.
You spoke saying, "I'm going to burn your house down."
He
For
ain't
real.
burning down shit. You know how I am. I'll carry around that painting and love on it. I will. We had a sick box that we made for Todd Bonner, and that thing was really, yeah. Remember Brandon? We had somebody come in, and even Aaron. Everybody was like getting headaches. We all couldn't figure out what it was. Well, then I looked at Brandon. I said, "Brandon," and here he is, starts burning his sage, and he goes, "You figured it out, didn't you?" I was like, "Yeah, it's the sick box. It's making people actually feel nauseous, and don't you dare burn that sage." Ah, there he goes. Yeah,
Also have
yeah.
cedar. Have cedar as well.
Oh, yeah, I like cedar. But yeah.
So let me ask this, Bettina, where can people find you on socials?
So I have a Facebook page. I'm working on a website, but I'm really slow and sometimes lazy. So, but I do have Facebook. It's Akashic Medium on Facebook or Bettina Norman. And, but you can also get me through our Omnia events. So if you look on the website, my email is out there. So yeah.
Or my April.
Go ahead.
Mine's less official. I just have like a Facebook page under Omega Paranormal KC, and everything else, honestly, is Omnia events.
Yeah.
So
we group it.
So last year you guys did like didn't you guys like do like an investigation before your guys' event or something last year? I can't remember.
Oh, in St. Joe?
I think so.
Yeah, we had an investigation in St. Joe at Lafayette Row, and that place is very active. And we're going to try to do it again this year, but we need to talk to the owners. We're going up there on Saturday to figure out the details. So I'm kind of excited about doing that again.
Yeah,
Mama, whenever I was watching
Go eat your hot dog.
Logan said the stream was unavailable, Brandon.
I tried to live chat, but
on where? Logan?
On where?
On the TV, on my tab.
Uncle Brandon won't be on tonight.
I know, but it says stream is unavailable.
He's looking at it now. He's working on. He's checking it out. But my son, he's 10 years old, and he watches Brandon just for like a little while before he goes to bed at night. He's in his room, and he doesn't. Sometimes I'll get on and watch. Right? Close it, please. Thank you. Love you. So my son will be in bed in his room.
I'm sending notes under the
Oh, I didn't know you were putting notes under. He was trying not to interrupt me, and I didn't notice you. Oh, okay. I didn't see the notes.
Look at the doorway.
Hey, Logie, go to YouTube. It's playing on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Uncle Brandon said. Okay. Yeah, he's supposed to be in bed, right? And then I'll come across about, "Hey, Uncle Brandon, I'm supposed to be in bed," and then Uncle Brandon goes, "It's okay, Mom doesn't care. I'll say something to your mama if she got something to say," and then I'll be like, "Man," So I just let him watch because
it's cute to have my nephew watch me.
Yeah,
she's not Swedish.
I'm German.
Da.
I'm Falcon. I'm broken.
I'm fat.
Brandon. No, you
No. I learned today. I learned this fact. So, like, when it gets hot, things expand. Right?
Exactly.
I'm not fat. I'm just hot.
I love it.
Yeah.
Good
I'm
one.
stealing that.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm stealing that.
Most people are mediums. I'm an extra large.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna go away.
Oh my gosh, she's great. Okay, thank you. All right, shut the door, baby. I'm almost done. Thank you. Love you. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. I look forward to meeting everybody at your guys' events this year. And thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Katie.
Well, thank you for having us here, though.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was really fun.
And
Yeah,
Katie was going to come on, and he did a podcast earlier, and he goes, well, Brandon will be there, won't he? Can he like fill in? Because Katie's been working all night getting equipment built for this event, So yeah, he's you know what he said? I don't think anybody's watching from his work. He goes, I think I'm going to call in tomorrow so I can work on some more equipment. Yeah,
Aw.
because we did over 37 public events, fundraisers and events last year.
Yes, we
I think
did.
It was like 43,
Now it's
actually.
40 something. Yeah.
It was a lot.
It
And
is a lot.
but that's normal for us. We do that every year. But the problem is we're not developing. We got to develop. That's what we do. That's our specialty. And we can't test our equipment.
Well, and the biggest thing because I'm slowing down this year too, because I want to get back to, I've been with Supernatural Inc. for like 7 years. I want to get back to what we started when we investigated just us. We don't need public. Get back to the roots for a little bit and then decompress. I mean, there's so much drama in the paranormal world.
Yes. That is my motto for this year: is just get back to your roots. Go back to where you were at the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm coming to you. I'm coming up. I'm driving up for y'all's events.
Cool.
And then in October,
because of March is.
Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm leaving next Wednesday to come up there.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. And then I have one more in Vermont in October, and I'm not doing much. I'm not doing much.
There's a lot of history in Vermont, man.
I'll be at Wilson Castle.
Yeah. Talk about some Spanish war shit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think 2024 is a reset year for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Agreed. It needs to be.
Yeah.
You know what? You're exactly right. It is definitely.
That's part of what I've been taught. That's part of what my talks for this year is.
Reset. Yeah, I definitely have to do a reset. And the Akashic records, that right there help a lot of people.
Yeah,
I don't know enough about Akashic records, so I'm looking forward, Bettina, to meeting you and sitting down and chatting.
Oh, yeah, thank you. We will do that for sure.
And I'm looking forward to seeing. Oh, you don't have. I'll pay whatever.
No, you don't pay. No.
And April I'm looking forward to seeing you again.
You too. Yeah.
Even though I think I picked on you the first time I saw you. But
if
everybody picks on me, I don't care.
She's used to that.
Well, with the Akashic records, getting it into that state, is it like a meditated like state? Is that
so? I have a little prayer or statement that I say before I open somebody's records, just so it gets me ready and it shows spirit that I'm ready to receive.
That's cool. And the other person, do they need to obviously set their intentions or
no? Not really. They just need to be themselves and open to receive.
And they don't ask questions, or
they can. I encourage questions, so as many questions as possible. I mean, I love questions.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. My son's sticking letters under the door.
So sweet.
So, well, we appreciate you guys, and so we definitely will have a lot of equipment. We'll have a lot of K2 meters. I'm going to have some paranormal starter kits. We'll have T-shirts. We'll have Shaman Sunday T-shirts.
Oh, nice.
And last year I handed out. Had the KC Medicon oh
Right.
gosh,
Poker
what,
chips.
poker chips that I was handing out randomly to people, and I don't know how many I had. I just know I ran out.
Can I come out in the end?
Yeah, shh. But yeah, so this year I'm trying to think of what I will be handing out with, you know, with y'all's with the date and everything, because I got to send
that's
everybody.
cool.
Yeah, so basically what I did was anybody who had a you know, a casino coin or whatever,
Poker
I
chip.
poker chip. Yes, sorry, I get nervous.
Don't be. You're
Poker
doing great.
chip. So everybody had a poker chip. I pinned it on Facebook, and I had them all message me, and I gave them 3 things to choose from, and that I'm sending them those. That's what they won. They didn't win
Oh,
anything.
that's cool.
And hey, there was only like 4 or 5 people, and mind you, I gave out a whole bunch of those casino chips, and I tell people, I'm like, and I was true to my word, and I even kept it up pinned even longer. So this year, I'm not quite sure if you got any ideas of whatever I could pass out, on the event, uh, and independent at the Masonic. I'll word
Yeah,
it
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But it like
Did I?
Stickers are always popular and easy.
what is?
Did,
Stickers.
I could do magnets and stickers. Yeah,
mhm.
vinyl, removable vinyl or something.
Did I mention why I'm really excited about the Masonic Lodge? Yeah.
Why?
Oh,
No, what is it?
he's a Mason.
Really?
Oh.
You know, that location our team investigates regularly, and it is very active. And some of the stories that's happened there have come out, because that building, one of the cornerstones was put there by Harry S. Truman.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And so it's really kind of cool to get the history of the building and the Masons.
yeah.
with
I
that.
sit on the board with a gentleman named Dave, who works at the Truman Museum. But now Brandon, though, he won't tell you anything about anything. But I'll start like doing telepathy with him, and he'll start burning his sage, and I'm like, you better get something more powerful than that. And
Oh.
he won't say
Hilarious.
nothing. 'Cause he's like, I'm like, you better bring me my peach
I am
dowsing rod.
sworn by a sacred oath. However, I am going to bring up, I might bring my apron, my lambskin apron, and
Cool.
a couple of Masonic trinkets that only Masons can get.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
nice.
see if we can't use them for some trigger items. Now, we have some devices that we can hook trigger items up to, too.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I'll give
Yeah, I
that a
thought
shot.
about doing an investigation there with like certain people the night before the show starts, but then some of the people wanted to set up their tables. I didn't want to do that, but
Well,
yeah, if you
I've done an investigation there before.
have you?
Yep. Long time
nice.
ago. I can't even remember the year. I have to go back and look in. I had to pull my hard drive, one of my external hard drives, and look. It was long time ago.
I'm actually
Yeah.
surprised the lodges have started opening up to investigations, because I thought they were super secretive. And so I was surprised that they said yes, that we could come in and investigate.
Well,
they
sure,
want
because none of the secrets are out there.
That's right.
Nowhere inside that building is a secret.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
because they make sure to clean up certain things before we go in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And there's certain, like, if you look at certain lodges, the years that they were founded is not in the like regular years. And I can tell you about that when we get there.
Okay.
And that'll be something that I'm not going to say on here. You got to get tickets. You got to, come out
They're
and see.
$7.
These are mine.
For
These
$7,
are-
YouTube can
$5
feed an
if you
idiot.
go online.
There you go.
Right.
No, we try to keep it honestly affordable for people to go, because we do want them to come and get some education and some information.
And we have a lot of freebie stuff at our booth too. Not equipment, guys. Our live investigation at the abandoned Masonic Temple in East Cleveland, Ohio was really interesting. Video on my group page.
I'm going to go check that out.
Yeah. I went on this whole thing with the Masons and the Knights of the Pythias. and how the Masons got blamed for assassinating Lincoln when they didn't, but the Masons didn't give a shit. They're like, yeah, whatever. You can blame us. We don't care.
We're too busy ruling the world.
But it wasn't even the Knights of the Pythias. I finally figured out what it was all about, but I'm not gonna say nothing because somebody might be watching. Yeah, I'm gonna be quiet
That's me.
Hi, Doggy.
because I ain't nobody coming after me.
I'm watching it.
You're silly.
I'm the only one watching.
But there was something else I was gonna say. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The Masonic Lodge. Yeah, my stepdad, he was a Mason. Now he was a Shriner, and I did because I do legacy videos, and so I was like, oh, let me do. He's a little too young for a legacy video, but I just was like, hey, let me do a legacy video, and he goes, let me guess, you want to know about the lodge, and I'm like, yeah, how did you know? And he goes, because you've been infatuated with it ever since you're like 15 or 16. And I was like, well, that's because you made me go play golf and I suck at golf. And, they're all the men are wearing little hats, and stuff like that. And they like have these,
It's a
weird...
fez. It's not a hat. It's a fez.
And they had like their verbiage, like the way they would talk about things. I didn't quite understand like what they were meaning. And I'm like, y'all need to stop talking about me in that tone. But they weren't talking about me. They were talking about who God knows what, probably like the energy, the little people out in the woods. Who knows? Just saying.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Brandon's saying no because he's not lighting his sage. So we're good. I'm wrong. I'm wrong on that one. But yeah, no, my stepdad wouldn't tell me nothing either. And he you could tell like when they get uncomfortable, and then they're like, yeah, I don't have anything else to say. They walk away and I'm like, uh-huh. And they're like, that doesn't mean that you're right about anything. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
I'll tell you the secret to the Masons. There is no secret.
That's right. Oh my God. That's true. I'm serious. There is no secret.
Huh.
It's right there in our faces.
Yeah, we're not hiding anything. Y'all just can't see it.
It's right there. It's crazy.
I am so
Crazy.
lost.
And we can, you know what?
It's
I
crazy
can have a
there.
little talk about the Masons before the investigation if you want me to.
It's everywhere. They're not. They tell the truth is there about who they are. I shit you not, dude.
Huh.
There is no secret. We're not.
No
We can't even
secrets.
figure out what we want to eat for dinner. How are we going to keep a secret?
I did get in trouble with your brother down in Smithville when I found that little area in the building. Like,
Brother Whedon.
Yeah. And he is like, don't you dare. And I was like, what, man? You wanted me to come up here. And it felt so good in there. And he was like, just walk away. And I'm like, okay. And I'm walking down the stairs. He goes, I didn't mean for you to leave. But I was like, I wasn't trying to invade. I just wanted to know what was over there. There was something over there, and I didn't know if you knew. Well, of course they would know, but at the time,
Huh.
Anyways, yeah.
Wild.
So, but we're excited. So,
yeah.
But
We're excited to have you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I got to get my little man ready for bed. And thank you, Brandon, for helping me. I told Brandon, I'm so nervous to do it. So I don't do.
You did great.
I don't.
Fine.
It was fun. It was fun. I had a lot of fun. Thanks.
Yeah, I just started doing like little hosts for like the events and get what people do for the events, and that's kind of like what I like to do. And I'm just trying to get used to. I'm not like the professional like Brandon and KD and Austin and Russell and all the others, Greg and.
I ain't professional. I just kind of wing it.
Yeah.
Well, Brandon wanted a network of podcasters, and Katie is like, okay. And I was like, what do you mean? Okay. He goes, done. We got it. And we finally finalized it last year. I forget like August or September.
I think, yeah. In there.
And
that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. It's fun.
That's Brandon wanted it. And Katie goes, done. And I was like, what?
That's how it goes,
Yep.
And
now you work your butt off.
I do. But that's my fault. That's a me problem.
Yeah, it's whenever you come up with the ideas, those are the ones that always get to have all the work to have to do.
Well,
Yeah.
I've done it for so long now. It's super easy. It's old hat for me now. But getting started, oh my god.
What you've done a good job, and we appreciate you.
Well, I
And we
appreciate you.
And we appreciate you ladies for everything that you guys
Thank
do.
you.
100%.
Oh, thank
You
you.
guys work so hard on these events, and they're just great.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You know, you guys have Supernatural Inc. support. We have the network, and we have the Shaman
Yeah.
Sunday, and
I
all of
gotta
us.
get you guys on before.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. I'll reach out.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, so there might be other people on our network that might want y'all on too. So
Appreciate it.
Oh,
Yeah.
We'll take all the exposure we can get.
Hey,
Get the word
we're
out
up for it.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
yeah, the Akashic Records is very interesting. I've done a little study on it. You know, not nowhere near as obviously what
Sure,
you
yeah.
do, but it's something very, very, very interesting.
It's
And
very powerful, yeah.
it is. So but thank you, ladies. I'm gonna get off here.
Thank you.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Brandon, for your support.
Konnichiwa, Irene. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you
And,
for having us.
Have a wonderful
Auf
night.
Wiedersehen.
Bye.
Bye.